But convincing some Sanders supporters to vote for Hillary Clinton if Bernie drops out will be difficult, to say the least. With me now, Yane Indigo. It's Bernie or bust for her. And Emily Tish Sussman, she's with Hillary. She's a campaign director for the Center for American Progress Action Fund. Sorry about that, Emily. I just wanted to get your title right. Welcome to both of you. So Yane, I want to start with you. It's virtually impossible for Senator Sanders to win the nomination. So why is it Bernie or bust for you?
You know, a lot of people, they perceive the Bernie or bust movement as being something that's almost like a temper tantrum for people who support Bernie. And I think it's really important for people to understand that Bernie or bust is really a representation of how we feel about Hillary Clinton. We don't like Hillary Clinton, and we can't support her.
So, Yane, under no circumstances would you vote for Hillary Clinton?
I'm definitely not going to vote for her.
So Emily, you're a Democratic strategist. You're a Clinton supporter. So convince Yane she's wrong.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry to hear that. And I do think there are a lot of people that are open to supporting Hillary. And really, the difference between the candidates has always really been in degree and not in kind. Look, there's no question that Sanders brought forward a lot of issues that really tapped into what a lot of people are feeling in this country right now and want to be talking about: income inequality, affordable college. He talked about free college. He talks about affordable college, money in politics. But the reality is that these are issues that she actually had in her platform, have always been a part of her platform, and she talks about increasingly more. He did put a real spotlight on them. He talks about them in very simplistic terms. And so I think it has forced her and her campaign to talk about them much more broadly and put them more front and center. But look, this campaign is going to, this general election is going to be about
who's going to move forward. Because I want to see if any of that makes sense to Yane. So when you hear Emily say those things, what do you think, Yane?
Well, there are a few things I think. I think, first of all, that Hillary Clinton says things that aren't always what she means and aren't what she believes in. And she's demonstrated that, and one of the clearest ways that she's demonstrated that was in 2008 when she was running against then Senator Obama for president, and she claimed that she was going to, that she was against the Colombian Free Trade Agreement, and that she was going to be basically lobbying against that, and that's what she said publicly during her campaigning. But when her emails came out, we saw that what she was actually doing behind the scenes, out of the public eye, was actually lobbying for that exact agreement. So that's evidence for us that what Hillary Clinton says in order to win the election doesn't anything to do with what it is that she's going to actually do if she becomes the president. And so whatever she's talking about on her platform, I just don't trust her. And so while I do agree that there are a lot of things.
I think you've hit the nail on the head. You just don't trust her. And Emily, Mrs. Clinton does have a trust issue. So what can you say to voters like Yane to say, yes, you can now trust Hillary Clinton. She means what she says?
Yeah, that is clearly her highest vulnerability. That is something that we do see pervasive, and this has been a theme of media attacks on her for the last 20 years. Look, we forget the fact that most politicians come into the main stage at the same time to America. Maybe their state knows them, maybe their district knows them, but people generally get to know them all at the same time. That is not the case with Clinton, and there have always been these attacks on her for whatever reason. But I think that as we get more into, you know, her history, her commitment, that we see that she actually always has been committed to fighting for people that don't have a voice.
Well, it's actually
it has always been there in her public service.
Yane, go ahead.
It's her history that actually, it's not simply, it's not just the Colombian Free Trade Agreement. It's what the State Department did under her leadership going into Haiti, and when they wanted to raise the minimum wage for the Haitians from 24 cents an hour to 61 cents an hour, they negotiated it down to 31 cents an hour. It's the regime change in Honduras and all of the people who are dying as a result of Clinton's influence in Honduras after they had their first democratic election. It's the mistake of the Iraq War. It's the mistake of Libya. It's her history that causes us questions. And so now she's saying new things, and she's saying new things that are popular. Suddenly she realizes that the importance of Black Lives Matter because of the Black Lives Matter movement, and these things don't seem genuine. They seem like what she needs to say in order to get elected. We don't trust what she says, and we don't like what she's done. So for those combined reasons, we won't vote for Hillary Clinton.
Okay, last word, Emily.
Look, I think that people read into what they believe what they want to believe, right? Like you can discount pieces of past if you don't think they fit with a current narrative. I think there is a lot to be said for somebody who can learn from their past mistakes and say, look, we tried it, it didn't work, we're moving forward with something that does work. That is what we want in a leader. That is what we want with the President of the United States. And I don't think that we're seeing that, honestly, across the board in any other of the candidates.
All right, I have to leave it there.
What I want in a leader is a person who has foresight. I want a leader who has foresight, who has the ability to know in 1994 that there are issues with the crime bill, not to look back after thousands of lives have been destroyed and families have been destroyed and say, ooh, I made a mistake. I want